So mindful eating is another practice, is a formal mindfulness practice we can bring to some activity, right? So eating is an important activity we do every day, 3 times a day, sometimes 5 times a day, sometimes, whatever amounts. And so we can engage our senses in the present moment through the food, sense of taste, sense of smell, sense of, touch. When you put the food in your mouth, what happens in your mouth? If you notice, saliva may be secreted, or your tongue may be moving around and your jaws are moving. It's a very good opportunity to experience, because again, we're on autopilot. We just eat, eat, eat. And maybe the first bite is like, oh, wow, I love this food. And then off you go. The rest of it is history. Or so when you eat, you want to bring that sense of curiosity. Like, let me see, what does this taste like? What does it feel like? What is the texture of it? What is the temperature of it? And in that way, I'm giving a mindful eating. In that way, you become present, your thoughts go away, you engage with the food. And then an added reflection practice to this is reflecting on where did the food come from? How did it get to us? This incredible resource, incredible, thing we need for life. It wasn't magically, it didn't appear magically. It had to be, if it was plant-based, it had to be uh, planted and, harvested and cared for and fed and all these different things that it needed to happen. And then people who harvested it and the boxes they to put these, for instance, is here. Everything okay, Vincent? Fire out or
This is like the second time that they've called because I've had a fireplace, doctor. I just try to have like a peaceful day and enjoy the beauty of a fireplace, and people call the fire department on me. So I don't know. No one uses their fireplaces, I guess, in this whole apartment complex. So that when they see one person with smoke coming up from the top of the building, they are inspired to call. It's just something that's relaxing because it's cold here.
it's coming
But
from the top, not from the windows or something, right? So
it's coming from where it's supposed to, but
yeah. Huh.
feel compelled to call the fire department. So yeah, I had to deal with that situation with like 15 firefighters outside of my
Oh
apartment.
my God. But it's not illegal, right? You could have it.
Yeah, you can have it. We have one for the purpose of burning wood fires. It's just one volunteer firefighter lives across from where I live, and he said that it shouldn't be billowing out the way it does. But I'm burning wood that may be a little moist, so it has a lot more smoke
Uh-huh.
than normal. And I don't know. It's frustrating to me because I feel like people just need to mind their business sometimes. But I also don't want to cause a fire. I am mindful of the fact that there could be
Yeah.
something wrong with the unit because it's old. So I'm glad that the fire department showed up. It's just not what I
Yeah.
wanted today.
Not convenient.
Not
Yeah.
convenient. But I'm going to be mindful of the fact that this is a joyous session. I'm going to be optimistic and happy that my apartment didn't burn down.
Right, right, right. Yeah, so things change, you see? It's not for sure, right? It's not for sure that we're going to have an amazingly peaceful and joyous and quiet
Yeah.
and blissful, blissful time. Just so this is really important to be aware of. That's what I'm talking about in the book about change. It happens right now. It's a natural thing that would happen. And how will I go with it? How will I experience it? That's the whole thing. It's not like, oh, don't get aggravated or frustrated or don't feel that you are inconvenienced. But once you do, then the present moment will help you discern, okay, do I want to continue this path of blaming and expecting the change not to have happened, what has already happened, you know,
Right.
or will I, because the more we ignore that it's happened, and that's it, the more we suffer for it. So yeah, good. Well, this is why we come to a retreat.
Some might call it the certainty of uncertainty.
Yes, Randy calls it the certainty of uncertainty. Yes.
I love that, Randy.
Yes. Randy is one of our teachers in MLO training, and yeah, he was out for a while. He was starting to teach the courses, and then he took some time off to deal with some health recovering times and stuff. So I wanna. I was talking before you came in about mindful eating, and these are all interconnected. So I want to interweave, not to forget that. But then what you're talking about is the practice of what's necessary for it is a practice of called equanimity. So we have the four, what the Buddhist teachings called four Brahma Viharas, which means the four crown jewels of the heart. I'm sorry, the four jewels of the heart. The crown of these four jewels is equanimity, peacefulness, steadiness, being the guest house. Rumi says, right? Being the guest house. And how do you be the guest house when I'm just minding my own business, trying to be warm, and somebody, butts in or somebody disrupts it, right? How do I just remain? I'm a human. I'm not building. I'm not lifeless. I have emotions, right? So within the human experience of it, we practice and cultivate these things. And so equanimity, you might say, there is maybe a good story that could sort of depict this, express it or show what it looks like. There is a story about a farmer who had a son, and who one day his son gets sick. No, one day his son, wow, it just all of a sudden escaped me. So the farmer has a son, and he has a farm, and he has, duties and responsibilities and horse and everything else. And the son falls off the horse one day, and he breaks his leg, and the villagers come and they say, oh my God, your son has fallen. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to be able to, finish your job and harvest and give us your, harvest and everything? Oh my God, oh my God. And the farmer says, well, I don't know, I don't know if I don't know. All I know is that he has fallen and his leg is broken. And then as it goes a few months later, the army or military comes to, recruit. And because he has fallen, he's broken the leg, they cannot actually recruit him. Um, and there is so much more to the story. I'm forgetting. Wow, I'm getting old, Randy.
There was something in between. Just a lot more of the, what are you gonna, something else happened, what are you gonna do, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so a lot of different things keep happening. All he says, all I know is that this is the problem right now. I don't know about the future, because they keep saying, what's going to happen next? And eventually it turns out all of it turns out to be really positive. I think that's the last
yeah,
thing.
he didn't go
He
to the
didn't
military.
he didn't get drafted, yeah. So this is the equanimity part of it, the being present, being mindful, being here, and tending to this right now. This is right now, okay, someone has called, and there is somebody wants to come and inquire about this. And so there are kind of like sort of different feelings. Like I want to be studious. I want to be, I'm committed. I want to attend and show that I'm dedicated to this practice. I don't want to get interruption, and I don't want to be giving excuses. Right. That could be going on behind the scene. Don't bother me. I am busy. And then a part of you might say, well, let's see, maybe it's a good thing they come and check it out. Maybe I'll tell the landlord or whoever is in charge to check it out. Why is the smoke kind of sort of a little strange? That would make people, and then so there is everything is, complex sides to it. And it's like if a tornado came and moving tornado, the way you could actually be safe is not to be on the outside, is to be in the center of it and move with it. If you kind of move too fast, you get shredded. If you go too slow, you get shredded. You got to go with the pace of it and be here in the center constantly. And that's oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? Right? With these little practices we do, which I'll bring it back to the mindful eating, what I was saying, Seema was asking, another way to practice being present, mindful, aware, is while eating. Now, mindfulness, I have to emphasize something about it. A lot of people think of it as a tool. They teach it as a tool, another tool for stress reduction, another tool for whatever. But in the case of mindfulness, actually, it cannot be a tool, meaning you don't want to put it down. You want to have it with you. It's not like a toothbrush. You're done with it, you leave it. You don't keep holding on to it and go someplace, or a screwdriver or a pen, or you put things down. But mindfulness is something you take with you through any experience. And then the other part that people don't emphasize on in mindfulness is that it has a very clear, very important mission. The mission of it is wellness and well-being and goodwill for all and yourself and all involved. Harmony, balance, well-being for yourself. Otherwise, a very good thief could be very mindful. So they don't do something that they get caught. That's not mindfulness. That's being, very focused. So with mindfulness of eating is another opportunity to practice, is that we engage our senses. Remember the 8 senses? And the one that captures dominance is the dominant one is the mind and the mental activities. We want to sort of teach our attention to be selective, to select what you need to pay attention to undo some of that autopilot that is not conducive to happiness, well-being, and productivity. And so when you eat, you pick up whatever you pick up, and you really become very curious about it, as if this is the first time you ever, ate something like this. Maybe you're on an island and you're hungry, you don't know this fruit, or you don't know this food, and you just want to check it out to make sure you don't get poisoned, right? So you smell it, you look at it, you become curious about as if it's the first time, that first encounter, the curiosity, what is this? And then you take a bite and you completely experience inside your mouth, what is this doing to me? There is maybe saliva, there is maybe sounds of, chewing and crushing something. There is, my tongue is moving food around. You probably don't even notice that your tongue does a lot of work when you're eating. Did you know that? Next time, pay attention. The tongue moves food around from this side of the jaw to the other side, to the front, to chew it properly the way it's supposed to. And then the aroma, the all the sensations. Once you're engaged in that, the mind is quiet. There is a sense of peacefulness. There is a sense of being here present. And this, your enjoyment, your fulfillment about the food increases a lot. Now, some people do that. They like to do that. Some people, they just can't, just eat, shove down. Yeah, I used to be one. But then there is another part to it, and it's a reflection part. The reflection about where did this food come from? What is this? Like when I sit and eat, like even yesterday, we were at this funeral. We went to the restaurant. There's a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of, talking and chattering, and the food is on the table. And, in a situation where there is a lot of people around, you don't want to be, you look so different, right? You don't want to be acting so different, but I want to really be paying attention to my food. And so the moment I glanced at the chicken kebab, there was, I saw the chicken. I saw the chicken running around once upon a time. I swear to God. And my heart became so full of, like gratitude and joy that, oh my God, thank you. You've given your life to me. Even though we took it, but you get, and then there is, on the chicken, there is the color, the beautiful saffron color. Oh my God. Do you have any idea? Saffron. Have you seen saffron? It is these tiny little shreds of, I don't know, the parts of this flower. How much of this they have to accumulate, to get that little inside part of the saffron, to get the aroma, that's why it's so expensive, to get the color that is so vibrant. And the saffron is very good for you, makes you happy, makes you laugh, makes you happy. It's a natural, euphor. So I'm looking at the saffron and I see this whole line of process. Oh my God, all the harvesting, the field, the flowers, the boxing, the packaging, the bring, and the saffron maintains its color, maintains its essence, maintains its goodness. It comes to me with so much goodness. And I'm like, my God, unbelievable. That's just the saffron on top of the chicken. And then there is the salt, and then there is the pepper, and then there is the rice field. Oh my God, the rice all across the universe, in India or Iran, or I don't know where these things come from. All the people who were involved, the process, even think of it when transportation, these things need to be packaged and transported. We need roads, we need flights, we need airplanes, we don't need, but we came to need them, right? Ships and cargo. Oh my God, the entire incredible industries that have come about. And now AI is added its services to the whole mix, right? So all so that what? We can eat a bite of food. When you think about interdependence, it's not a theory, it's not a philosophy, it's not a, something that you just some higher level thinking people should think about. No, it brings you immediate joy, immediate fulfillment, immediate connection. And how can you think about anything negative? How can you think about anything that's wrong? In those moments, you cannot find problems when you are engaged. The four things that are wrong in our lives, they take over the entire billions of things that are right. So that's another way of practicing mindfulness, which is often, right? Often during the day, we get this opportunity. First, the experience of it, then the reflection of how is it related to me. The entire universe is serving me. This shirt you're putting on right now, that keeps you warm. Just try to just put that in the middle of a mind mapping thing and, go find out the origin of it. It's massive. The incredible connection to everything is massive. From nature to constructed systems, to materials, to people, to financial institutions, to you name it. For us to just wear this shirt, this amazing shirt. This shirt becomes so valuable. You know, you can't even measure the value when you think of it like that. So, did I hit the mark on solving 2 problems? Maybe. Yes.
I think so.
What do you think? Any comments or questions about that?
I don't know. I'm just struck with the amazement of like when you break things down, everything is like that. There's so much beauty in the systems and nature and in our lived experience every day that we take for granted. And when you slow down, I was realizing that when I was walking and meditating, it's just like looking at some of the things around me in my short field of view. And it made me write a bunch of notes actually. I like put myself on mute. I turned off my camera. I wrote a bunch of notes about what are the things around me that are sparking joy in my space. And I wanted to cultivate more of those, right? Like I took some of my plants out of my room that I normally have because there's not enough light in my little apartment. So I took them to my mom's and dad's because there's more light. And now I want more of my plants back because those spark joy. And I was struck by like Marie Kondo and her thought around what you should have and what you shouldn't based on what is bringing joy to your life. And even just in the food that you eat, like you shared, being intentional about what food you're putting in your body is something I thought about and what you're just sharing, how I would rather eat food that's crafted by a million people than food that's super processed, that's going through conveyor belts that I don't really know the origin. Like I can derive the origin of saffron. I know it comes from a flower, from the stamen of a petal, and someone's picked it, put it into a bottle, but I don't know about like a Rice Krispie puff kind of process, I can't derive what is the materials of that. And it made me think about like what I care about most. And it's like the handcrafted things and the things that are, I don't know, I can almost place a vision for how it came into my life and where it came from. And those things are what bring the most meaning and beauty to my world around me. And I think that's true for food, but also for manufactured goods too.
Yes, yes, for sure. So you could see that the quality of things that make me feel clean, pure, more wholesome, is better for me. And then as you practice, I'm sorry, I always push the edge for more deeper, going deeper, and so as you practice and you find yourself with the processed food, you still look at it in the same way. That the origin of it is not the origin, is the offering. It's the elements that's in it. It's the way that it's just the existence of it. You become one with it. Even like the phones have their own danger. Don't put it next to your head and sleep with it. Still it came from nature. It came from the things that were taken from nature and reconstructed. But then it also helps us see that the flaws in the way we do things, and we can maybe reduce those flaws as you become more and more in tune, and your senses will tell you a lot. Feelings and senses. Like there's the sensation that nature created of disgust, right? That feeling, the experience of disgust. To what? To say, no, this is not good for me. This doesn't feel right. Whether in relationships or in food or in, this is going to make me sick. Your gut tells you. So if you are, as we are developing our connection with our every experience of, oh, this is a vibration, this is a tingling, this is a pain, this is sharp, this is, you know, the kind of disassembling, right, the experience. The more we do that with our own body and yeah, the word experience, the more we can discern which part of it is, you know, a faulty code, or you know, a little poison here, a little on, you know, something that I don't, it's not to my best interest, I let go, you know. But then if difficulties don't come up, like you said, this fire thing comes up for you to practice with now, to see your own, you know, expectation versus what is versus what's my expectation, right? And then we, oh my God, we make decisions based on our perception all the time. There isn't enough light, we believe it. We believe this is the truth, and we connect it to another thing we believe is truth, that, okay, plants need more light, then hence they're not going to do well. Okay, then the solution is to, yeah, to be kind, take him to your mom, you know, let them flourish over there. But then if you think about it, you notice, like, I mean, the clock that I said was on the wall, that I had tried another time to fix, to change the time, I couldn't. I believe that I can't, I don't know, it doesn't work. And all of a sudden I thought, let me just try, you know. I could, it was unbelievable. I turned it around and there were 3 buttons on it. And I pressed one button, set, up and down. It worked. What? How could it be? So the time that I did it, it might have been at night. I might have been tired. I might have not been able to see it. Something, some condition wasn't right. And my perception picked it up as this is the way it is. This is the truth of it. And now, if that's not true, what happened to that truth? What happened to it if it was so true? This is why we cannot be so set on our, you know, on our assumptions or conclusions. Always just like, maybe not, maybe not. Things change all the time. So that's great. I'm glad you're back and things are good. So mindful eating was, try that. You could start with, you know, taking one piece of something, one piece of maybe a grape or something, and just experiment with that, and enhance it, you know, expand it to eating more like that, and just see how it, you know, changes your sense of fulfillment in life, you know, and then always being aware of rigidity, the mind becoming rigid. This is how I'm going to, you know, I'm going to live, or this is who I am. I'm always doing that with myself. Constantly have to be vigilant about my mind, things. Always vigilant. I cannot believe it. I have determined that I will not believe my own mind. Even if it's right, I'm going to question it. Why? Because I know how it is. I know that it's just, it could go wrong at any moment, at any moment. So you know, you test it, you look at it from different angles, you bring the heart, you bring wisdom, you bring science, you bring other knowledge, you bring testing things out. You constantly, you know, have to sort of work with it to just to be peaceful, you know, just to be peaceful and doing things that are not gonna um, cause less harm. Like one of my teacher, actually, current teacher, he's been a monk for over 50 years. a monastic who gave up everything as a young person, right? Everything, all worldly stuff. And, you know, when you, my God, in his presence, anything you say, even if you cry, he's going to laugh. He's so happy and clean and peaceful. He will laugh, you know. But somebody asked him, so Ajahn Pasanno, what have you got for all these 50 years of being a monk? You know, what have you achieved? Right? You know, his response was, at least I have caused less harm. You know, how beautiful and how skillful of a response. He didn't say, I don't know, anything else would have been from ego. At least I know I have caused less harm. Is that? Like I'm not looking for an achievement. I'm looking just, you know, be part of the ecosystem of life.